Hey, what's up you guys? It's Fairy Francha here. Today we're jumping into The Sims 4 and I really wanted to try the whole going from broke to millionaire, and I wanted to give it a twist by just going ahead and making an elderly sim. So I picked a house that looked very how can I say, not very upper class. Like, it's a small house, it's a small unit, and then I just went ahead and generated a random sim. I obviously went elderly, and as you can see here, I just randomized his needs and his wants, and I went ahead and made him florist just for the fact that I wanted to actually use his skills to make him more money, because he's most probably retired and therefore he needs money in order to survive. And the house that I picked only had 5,000 simulants. So I initially used the 5,000 simulants to remodel the house and make it a little bit more pretty. And then after that, we're gonna actually jump into, which might be a second video, where we actually start making money. So in the first one, obviously, as I just said, we're gonna start by looking at the house. So here we have the random small house. It's not the biggest, it's very small, it's living on a budget, like the tiny home. And as you can see, there's the staircase, there's the fridge, and yeah. So now we're just gonna go ahead. I just want to show you the walls, what color it is, and as you can see, it's just a very plain house on a very plain street. Not very fancy, not a very big garden, not very over the top. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take the sim and we're gonna start working our way up and up to the level where he can buy a bigger house, maybe get a bigger garden, and work our way from there. So now we're just gonna jump right into it and start editing. I first want to just take a look at the house and what we do in fact have. In the future, I'd want to make more videos like this, so if you guys like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, perhaps. You don't have to, I don't mind. But yeah, this is just fun, and I'm just doing this for fun, doing it from home. So yeah, so here I'm starting to obviously edit and take out a few things and just try, and then I obviously messed up. I deleted the whole foundation, and so I went back in and I started deleting the balcony, and I felt like this was very it showed very as an old house, and I wanted the more modern type of vibe that just shows that you're starting to get somewhere, or you're starting to do something, as you can see. So I started revamping the porch first, and as you can see here, we're just gonna go, I wanted to go with a modern, old-fashioned type of vibe, if I can call it that. I don't like the word vibe, but yeah. So we're gonna just go ahead and just check what it looks like, and then we're gonna move ahead from there and yeah, initially try and transform this house into a beautiful little cocoon that our elderly person can live in. And then from there, we're going to start making money and really developing our skills in terms of gardening and so forth. Because the sim, his main skill is gardening, and I was like, why don't we use his main skill and work on it, and then get him up to the point where he can sell the fruits and vegetables and whatever he has planted thus far, or we have planted thus far, and then we see where we can get with that. And at some point, I would want to hire a gardener and let him come and water the plants, because our sim is old and he doesn't have a lot of energy. He needs to be fed more and all of that jazz. So yeah, we really need to think about that. And yeah, just one of the things that I really want to do is just make sure that this sim is initially gonna have enough money to survive, if you understand what I mean. If hypothetically you think in the real life and you think that an elderly person now does not have a job anymore, so they have to find a different way of surviving. And I really wanted to go into that and try and yeah, figure out a way to make him a millionaire even though he does not have a job, and just to show that that is possible. So yeah, at some point we would want to be able to be comfortable enough to do that. So yeah, here you can see I'm just like revamping the porch, putting in some new balusters, and testing out different flooring because I wanted to try as closely as possible to get the flooring to match with the stairs. And as you can see, I'm having quite a hard time just deciding on which front steps we are gonna have in this house, which I'm like, there's a lot of other things that needs to be worried about in terms of actually starting the business and that whole affair, and you still have to do the whole inside of the house. And I'm like, I'm spending so much time on just the front porch that I was like, I need to stop. But yeah, as you can see here, I finally decided, I think I decided on these. I tried to fit them to the foundation and I was like, this looks actually kind of cute. And I think we sticked with that. And then we put on the balusters of the staircase in front of the house. So then I just looked around, and then we started with the garden. And with the garden, I didn't want to do much because we only had limited amount of funds. At this point, we only have 5,000 simoleons. And because I sold some of the things that were on the porch, we obviously got a little bit more money. And throughout the build, I have found it hard to actually stay within the budget because I kept going to more expensive things. I'm like, you can't right now. And that's like, I want to say most of the things that, I mean, in real life, you want obviously the better or more expensive thing, and you technically can't afford that. And then you go for the cheaper option for now until you're more comfortable. But yeah, here I'm just making the balusters and the trimmings, the roof trimmings, and the actual pillars fit together. And one of the hardest things is I struggled to decide the outside color of the house, because it's like you have to fit it in with everything, and it has to look cute on the street, if you get what I'm saying. So I think originally I wanted to go with wood and stick with wood because I love the colors of wood. But then I decided that's going to be too much in terms of the porch and it's just going to clash. So I went in with stones, and as you can see here, I am finally deciding on some stones, and we finally put the stones in, and yeah, I really liked it. I thought it looked cute. So yeah, we just went ahead and kept the stones. Now we're going to the inside of the house, and yeah, I first finished the porch, and then we're gonna go inside of the house. And the inside of the house was kind of interesting because I felt like there was a lot to be decided on, and yeah, just in general, there was quite a few things that needed to be sorted out and finished off with inside the house. And the layout was kind of weird at first when I walked into the house or looked at the house, and I thought to myself that the house is very restricting in terms of space and what is in there. So I went ahead and I deleted everything in the kitchen, and I was just like, I'm just gonna delete all the furniture so that we can have like a clean start, a clean slate. And I went ahead and removed the walls that separate the original kitchen from the rest of the house. And then I decided I'm just gonna wipe out everything in terms of the inside of the house. So I decided to remove the bathroom and the bathroom walls and the bedroom and the bedroom walls. And we went ahead to then rebuild and remodel the house in terms of a different layout that made more sense and had more space. So here we go ahead and we're gonna go on 2 walls, and we're gonna build a few walls. There we go. Okay, so now I decided to make the bedroom, his bedroom, on this side of the house, because it had that little cute nook which I thought was kind of cool. And I thought that maybe we can, like later when we do have more money and we do invest more, we can go ahead in there and make more of a, I want to say, space for him. And I want to start, perhaps he can even become an artist and work on his artist skills and start selling his paintings or his sculptures or whatever he creates in that aspect. So we just went ahead and finished the build of the doors and so forth. And I originally wanted to keep the original windows of the house and just match the flooring with that, but then I decided to go ahead and make the flooring all the same, and I went with wood flooring because I love wood flooring and keeping an eye on the budget. So then we went ahead and we decided for tiles for the bathroom, which was kind of hard, as you can see, but I finally decided to go with these little, I think I went with rock pebbles, but just on a gray one. So then we have the bathroom, the obvious bedroom, and then the kitchen would be by the front door when you come in, and then the living space would connect to that, and the dining room would connect to that, and then you would have the bathroom and the bedroom. One thing that I find relaxing about Sims or The Sims is that it's initially creating a different viewpoint or a different aspect. Like, you are creating, and it's a creative process that invokes creativity within yourself and helps you think outside the box without limitations. And yeah, I'm just rambling now. Did that, and then we went in with the red, and I thought the red was really pretty, and I love red. Red is my favorite color next to that blue. But I thought the red looked really pretty in that room with the red, with the wood flooring, the wood board flooring. And so I decided to make an accent wall as the outside of the wall, like rocks as you come in. And so I went ahead and I picked a nice rock. I had a rock wall there. And in another build that I did a few weeks ago, I did the challenge of two tiny homes next to each other on the same lot, and then making a stunning garden and water feature, and we had a waterfall in there. And I just thought to myself that I literally pushed in the password of the, what do you call it, cheat code. I made this wonderful place for these two elderly people, but I didn't think about the fact that not everybody has that much money. So as you can see here, I'm just like deciding on the door. And so here I was just playing around with some windows. Haha, get the pun, windows. I was just playing around with windows. That was the lamest joke ever, and I just realized it. But yeah. So against the wall where the sim is standing, that's where I want to make the kitchen. And this part is going to be the living room where I'm putting the window right now. And it looks out on the porch. I just felt that was better than having the bedroom there. It felt very unpractical to me, having the bedroom at the front door. And so I went ahead, that's where the kitchen is going to be, by that window. And so I continued trying new windows and seeing which ones I like most. I did like these modern windows, but I just felt like they were too expensive to actually put in the house, and they would cost a lot of money. So I went ahead and I finally decided to keep it the same as the front window. And yeah, like that window right there, I thought that was very pretty. So I went ahead and put more of them in, because it just made the house look a little bit more. And I missed some paint back here, so I just quickly patched that up. So then we finished putting in the windows there. I think we're going to jump right into the kitchen now. And so we went in with cabinets, and obviously these were very expensive, the ones that I'm looking at right now. So I tried to go a little bit cheaper, and I finally picked those. And I wanted to make them white because the wall is already red, and I didn't want to overdo it with the red. So I went ahead and put these cabinets in just to see a basic layout of the house and of the kitchen. And then we went ahead and just put the window in a nice spot because I wanted to put the basin in front of the window to have like this little bay window, because I want to put his garden that he's going to start his business with right outside the kitchen window. So then he can just stand there and wash his dishes and look over his plants and the future he's creating for himself. As you can see here, I'm just checking and thinking and processing how I want to make the kitchen, because obviously my mom always told me that a kitchen has to be laid out in a certain way, and a kitchen would technically be in a triangle if you think about it. So you have to have 3 points: the basin, the stove, and the fridge, and they have to move in a triangle. And if you move your kitchen in a triangle and those things are in a triangle, that means your kitchen is an optimal use and space. And here I sort of went into a triangle because the fridge is there and the basin and the stove, so it moves in a triangle sort of form. Because you can't put the stove next to the fridge. That makes obvious sense, because then, like my mom always used to say, the fridge would have to work harder initially, and it's not good for the fridge to be next to the stove and all that kind of jazz. And you can't put the basin too close to the stove because that's really bad. And it's just all of that. So I tried to space them out as much as possible. Yeah, we're on 4,500 simoleons and we almost done with the kitchen. So I felt very confident, but at the same time, I also felt like I was using too much money. And I tried to give him some entertainment and just to keep all his skills up. I mean, you still want him to be happy and stuff like that through the process. So here I just went ahead and I just tried to make his living space a little bit more homey. And one of the hardest things was I was like, I want to put in a TV, and the TVs in the game is very expensive. So I had to finally decide what I was going to do. I think I picked the small box one. By the way, I'm streaming live on Twitch, so that's why I am voiceovering now and just making it a little bit faster. And so there we go. So I put on a little TV there, and then I moved up the window because I wanted to make the little dining room there with a dining room table and stuff like that, just so that you have like a little view while you're sitting at the table. And then we're gonna add some chairs. I wanted to add chairs that are almost the same color as the table, and I thought these were really pretty, and I thought it looked really cute. So I went ahead and just try and fit them in optimally and nicely, and I thought that was kind of cute, like right there. And now we're gonna move on to the bathroom, if I can ever fit that pot in. So I wanted to put some stuff on the walls, and I was like, you only have a certain amount of money left, which is 2,700 simoleons. And I thought to myself, you need to actually put in lights still, and you still need to do the bedroom and the bathroom. And I was like, I'm not gonna have enough money for this. But yeah, we made it work to a point. I think the bedroom was a little bit disappointing, but the bathroom looked really pretty. And here I didn't notice my money yet. I just continued building and going, and at some point I noticed that, oh goodness, I don't have a lot of money left. So the bedroom is going to not be the best at this point. I think there's only 2 furniture pieces in there, which is kind of sad. But we will eventually get to the point where we can be comfortable and buy more furniture. I wanted to put in a rack and just be fancy and everything, and then I realized, oh, we don't have a lot of money. So yes, I know I finally decided on these cabinets, and these cabinets were really expensive. So later you're going to see me swap them out because I'm not going to have enough money. Yeah, and there I am out of money. So I looked at the screen and I was like, why are these red? Why? Oh, and then I realized, you don't have money. So I quickly went to the bedroom to see if I can actually do anything there, and I noticed that, oh, you can't do anything. So I went back into the bathroom and I swapped out the cabinets for something a little bit more cheaper. And I went ahead with these and I made them white. And I thought they actually looked really pretty. I didn't think they were like ugly or anything. I thought they were very pretty. So I went ahead and put those in and just put the basin back in. Cheapest basin I could find. And I thought those looked actually very cute with the wallpaper and the stone flooring. Just the light wood just actually like gave it a balance. And then we went back into the bedroom and I still noticed that I did not have enough money. So as you can see, I literally have 2 pieces of furniture in. And then where I put the dresser is actually where I want to make his art studio, kind of in that nook. So I just left it like that and I didn't have much of a choice because we only had, I think, 28 Somalians left. And I still needed to do his flower pots, which is going to make him money. So I went ahead and deleted all the flowers outside, and that actually gave me a little bit more leeway in terms of money. And we just went ahead and sprayed the garden and just made it look a little bit like prettier so that it's workable and a workable space. And you're gonna see in a second here, I'm just gonna lay down, I just made sure the foundations matched everywhere and the overall look was fine. And then I went ahead and started laying down the plans for his garden. So here you can see I picked flower boxes because I thought that would make it, and I quote with my fingers, it would look more like what can I call it, a garden, like a beautiful garden, like a flower garden. And eventually I would want to put like a gazebo up or something that looks cute and would make it look like an actual business and that he's starting to do something about it, and just like the overall idea of that. And so I went ahead, because spraying is free in The Sims, so we went ahead and sprayed the area instead of actually laying tiles down. So I went ahead and sprayed the area with like a stone pathway that made it look cute on a budget, and we made it come up all the way to the house, and I ended up moving the trash can because it was in the way. But yeah, it looks like a cute little retirement house, and he's gonna start initially making more money in terms of towards his retirement. And maybe, you never know, one day he'll be a millionaire. So yeah, here I just went ahead and I tried to figure out what I wanted to plant where, and I didn't have a lot of seeds, and I had like no money left, and he still has to eat and survive. So I went ahead and tried to. Then he went ahead, not I went ahead. He went ahead and planted all the seeds, and started to get ready for like processing everything and starting to just in general get the money flowing. And he couldn't fit in there, so I had to move everything. I think that is it for today. And yeah, like I said, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give us a like. I will try and upload as soon as possible and give you guys more of an idea of how we're going to move forward. I'm not going to play it without you guys, don't worry. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to hit save, and then next time when we come back, we will continue growing and trying to make an old man into a millionaire, from poor to the rich. Have fun, you guys. Bye.